Good morning and welcome to our church update, January 2022. It's wonderful to be able to share with you many of the great things going on in the life of our congregation. Usually we do this update live and in Tyson Hall. However, we know that many of our Sunday school classes are engaged in an ongoing Bible study, and many of our small groups have just begun and they're just now gaining momentum, and so we don't want to disrupt that. Christian formation and learning as a disciple of Jesus Christ, well, that's just part of who we are here at Vestavia Methodist. And so we want to make sure that we encourage that and never interrupt it. And so this morning we are offering this as a video option so that you can watch it in your Sunday school class or watch it at home. And we know that many of you are at home because of issues related to COVID-19. And so our prayers are with you, and we hope that this will give you encouragement as you know that the church keeps moving forward. This morning we'll follow our usual pattern, and we'll have Gary Wyatt come and share with us a financial update as we have finished 2021, and as our church administrator, he does a tremendous job of guiding the financial ministry of our church. We'll have Kip McClurg, our executive pastor, come and share with us about our facility and our online presence and many things that are going on in the life of our church. John Sweeney, who is our pastor of discipleship formation and stewardship formation, he'll come and talk with us about how our pledge campaign went last fall and where we are with that, and also some changes going on in our columbarium. And then I'll come back and share more about where we are as a church and where we're going in sermons and our studying together as we grow as disciples. Again, it is wonderful to have you with us this morning, and we hope that this update is a blessing.
I have a lot of exciting things to share with you today. First off, I'm very happy that our giving as a church has been very strong. You have been very faithful to give to the Lord's work, even in the midst of COVID-19. And I want you to hear my gratitude and my thanks for what you have done in giving. We are about halfway through our fiscal year, which runs from June to July, and I'm happy to report that we are ahead of budget at this point. To be honest with you, COVID has made things tough. It is hard to manage a church when you have so many unknowns. But it has been a great blessing not to have to worry about your giving, to worry about what bills to pay, or to think about how to manage cash flow. So thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the church's heart for giving to the church. Our staff and committees have also done a great job of keeping our expenses down. All of them are great stewards of the money that you do give. And they've just done a great job. So that has set us up in a good place to start 2022. Our auxiliary ministries have also done well. The day school, dance, and the Conservatory of the Arts are all based on tuition income or income from lessons. And they have done just a great job of modifying when they need to manage COVID as well as possible. I want to thank you for your patience, because sometimes because of exposures and people getting COVID, we've had to cancel a class or classes or lessons. So thanks for your patience for that. And we do need your continued giving. All of the programming of this church and all of the spiritual guidance that we are trying to provide during COVID-19 is only possible because of what you give and how you allow us to do that. Also, we have very strong cash reserves. I'm happy to tell you that we are debt-free. When we did this same video a year ago, we still had some of the money to pay off from our construction line of credit for the next capital campaign. But I'm happy to say that we paid that off, and right now the church is once again debt-free. In addition, we have 36 designated funds that are made up of Sunday school class income for the Rise Against Hunger, income for things like the food pantry, and they are all totally funded. Those accounts are in a separate bank account, so it is separate from our general fund and never really commingled. So I wanted you to know that. Also, we just finished our audit for our fiscal year 2021. Borland and Benefield is our independent accounting firm that looks at all of our books, and I'm very happy to report that we once again had a flawless audit. Now, what that means is that when they checked over 100 transactions at random, every one of those transactions was properly documented with a receipt. And so we got a perfect audit once more. We will do audits every year because we feel like that is important for your confidence in what we do and knowing that the money that you've given to this church is used well. If you would like a copy of the audit, please contact me and we'll be happy to send you one. Also, we're right now in January in a period of transition. Natalie Geeson, who served almost 6 years as our main accountant or director of finance, has gone to work at one of her former accounting firms. She's still helping us on nights and weekends, but we're really looking forward to Madison Alcarez starting for us the 1st of February. Madison is also a CPA, and she, Joe, and their little girl Evie are very active members of this church. As I conclude, I want to thank you one more time for your generous giving. This is a great congregation, a great place to worship and be a part of God's work. Because of what you do and how you give, you allow us to help connect people to God and with other people and with their community. Thanks so much.
I'd like to update you on what's going on in the church, both in our facilities, our physical presence, and our online presence. Ministry has not stopped because of COVID. We've learned, or trying to learn, how to live through it, and now trying to learn to live with it. And so we've modified a lot of ministries, and a lot of things are in process. There are several building projects that are in process. One is recarpeting and reflooring, starting from behind the sanctuary, coming down through the offices. We'll leave the slate that exists in front of the chapel, but then we'll go up the hallway and a number of the Sunday school classrooms in that building, the educational building, will be replaced to update those carpets and make them much more attractive. We'll also be installing a bathroom outside of the chapel in the narthex that will make it much easier for people on that level. There's not a bathroom on that level, and it sometimes causes us issues for people who have accessibility problems. We are in the midst of changing out the portico that is at the elementary entrance. It's been taken down, and we're looking at this point for the best design that is cost effective, but also impedes traffic flow the least and is less likely to get hit by yet another vehicle. And so we are hoping to see that project finished in the next month or so. We have replaced a lot of the landscaping outside of Tyson Hall entrance and in the area going down to Dick Kelly Park. Also in Dick Kelly Park, we've replaced all of the bridges that were original to the park. And so now they are newer and safer, and we are excited about that change. We have been building other bridges, though, not physical ones, but bridges of how we can keep close to each other and keep connected in the midst of an ongoing pandemic and endemic. Hopefully you have noticed some changes to our social media and improvements there. Hopefully we've been able to see what's happening in the church and been able to register for those events more effectively through a number of software and website changes. We've also tried to expand what we talk about in social media so that we bring a conversation about what God is doing at Vestavia Methodist. We have also been blessed to continue our live stream, both of our traditional and contemporary services. This keeps a lot of folks connected who are either in isolation because of COVID or who are traveling or just can't come to church for whatever reason that week. And we have received a number of statements from people and thanking us for the continued use of our live stream and those opportunities. We've started a number of small groups this fall that are going well. Everything from the spoiler alert related to the sermon series to a marriage seminar, to another of the films about the life of Jesus. And these are all available still on our website if you'd like to join one. But there are 6 or 7 great new small groups that have started. We're also thrilled this year to connect with everyone on Christmas Eve. We connected in 2020 outside in a very cold evening, one that we'll never forget, but we're thrilled to be able to have over 2,000 people join us for Christmas Eve this last year. So we are excited about what God continues to do, and we're excited about new ministries and new projects that are ongoing even now.
Good morning. I would like to share with you 2 components of the life of the church that for me are a fantastic representation of the life of this church. The first is our 2022 pledge campaign. We began our campaign in October, and it's a thrill to report to you that not only have the pledge numbers been a tremendous success, we have a record number of first-time pledgers for the year 2022. That's a remarkable testament to the commitment that each of you make to the life of this church. I'd also like to share with you about our columbarium. It was decided by the columbarium committee that it was time to provide some improvements and some renovation to the columbarium. We came up with multiple naming opportunities, and the success of those naming opportunities has been tremendous. We still have some remaining, though. We have the Stations of the Cross that an individual could be recognized in the individual naming of one of those stations, and there are 14 of those stations to be named. There are planting vessels and pots that are remaining to be named as well. If you're interested in purchasing a naming opportunity for our columbarium in memory of your loved one or your family, I certainly invite you to get in touch with me, and I would love to have that conversation with you for this gift that will last in perpetuity. Also, I would like to say, as we're talking about the columbarium, that our niches are going to be expanding. We're going to be increasing the number of niches that we have available for families to purchase, and those prices are actually going to be going up in the month of March. So if you and your family have been talking about the purchase of a niche for our columbarium, I invite you to have those conversations with us and get in before the prices go up in March. Again, it's an honor to serve alongside each of you in the life of this church, and I look forward to 2022.
As we started the year this year, we began with a sermon series called Spoiler Alert, and it's a study on the book of Revelation. And we know that many of our small groups and Sunday school classes have been going through the curriculum that was created to go along with the series. We're happy to share with you that we have 2 other series coming up this spring that will also have curriculum attached to them. One will be the building blocks of faith that will lead us through Lent. And what a great opportunity this is to look at the foundational beliefs of who we are as Christians, who we are as Methodists. And so it gives us that opportunity to look deeply into our foundational pieces of faith. And we'll be preparing videos for this, and we'll also have curriculum questions that you'll be able to use in small group or Sunday school setting. Then, after Easter, we'll be looking at the life of Paul. If you have read the New Testament, you know that many of the books of the New Testament are attributed to Paul. And so we know that the faith of the church has been shaped by Paul, by his life, by his ministry, by his teachings, by how he interpreted the messages of Jesus. And so we're looking at the life of Paul and how it impacts us even now as we live as Christ followers. We hope that you will participate in a small group that looks at either the building blocks of faith or the life of Paul, or that your Sunday school class will consider doing one or both of those during your time together. This year, 2022, is the year of service. Our missions team is leading us through this year and giving us countless opportunities to be the hand and feet of Christ. We know that sometimes we're not able to go personally, so there'll be opportunities where we can provide the resources that others will be able to prepare and take out. This is crossing all generations of the church. Recently on MLK Day, we were able to see different ages of our church, from our elementary all the way through our high school, all the way through all of the many adults actually being the hands and feet of Christ, going out and making a difference in our world. We're grateful for that. And we're grateful for the missions team of calling us to service. And so I hope that you'll look in the notes and listen for the announcements and look in the bulletin. Find your place of service this year as an individual, as a family, as a Sunday school class, a small group, a group of friends. Go and make a difference in the world for Christ together. We're excited that our car ministry continues to provide safe and reliable transportation for so many. This past year, our Advent offering was for the car ministry. And so we have been able to give them some financial resources to go along with all of the skill they bring to that ministry. So I hope that you'll consider, if you are changing transportation, that you'll consider talking with our car ministry about the possibility of donating a car to that ministry to be placed, or by continuing to donate financially to that ministry, because we know that through that car ministry, lives have truly been changed. We also know that in our world there are ongoing needs. February 2nd, we'll be hosting a blood drive here through the Red Cross. It's an opportunity for you to give the gift of life through giving blood. You can go on the church app or on the church website, and you can register to come and to participate in that day to give blood, because the gift you give can truly save life. We also know that as the Omicron variant of COVID-19 continues to move through our community, oftentimes that is overwhelming our local medical facilities, such as the urgent care clinics and even emergency rooms, with people going in to receive a COVID-19 test. And so on January the 27th, through the portico of the lighthouse, we will be, for that day, a testing site. Operated through UAB and their community partners, will be a testing site where people will be able to come and do a drive-through COVID-19 test, receiving that information within about 15 to 20 minutes after testing is done. And so we're able to offer that to our community as a means of helping them move through this time of the worldwide pandemic. We're grateful to you as a congregation for how you continue to step up to the challenges of COVID-19, how you continue to keep our church strong and moving forward, how you are helping one another and loving one another through the challenging times of when someone is diagnosed to when they are well again, and how you stand by each other through the hardest times of COVID-19. We're grateful to the leadership of our day school and our dance ministry and our Conservatory of the Arts, and how they have helped to provide safe options for children to be able to participate in each of those, helping to keep them as safe as possible through following the CDC guidelines and what is recommended and what is required. They have been able to continue in ministry even in the hardest of these times. So we're grateful for all that they do. Truly, this is an amazing church. I hope as you have heard all of this today, you will have had your faith in our church renewed, because we are moving forward. God never intends for the church to be still or to go backwards. God is always calling us forward to meet the needs of our community, to reach out with the love of Christ to those around us, to share hope in a world that sometimes seems hopeless, to shine the light of Christ in a world that is sometimes far too dark. And so we as a church continue to do that, and you make that possible because you are the church. You are the body of Christ. Each of us together, with all of our gifts and all of our abilities, make up this great congregation. And so I look forward to what God has in store for us as we continue to be faithful into the days and months and years to come. Who knows what God will do in and through this church, and how God will reshape this community with His love. And so thank you for the honor and the privilege it is to be your pastor, and thank you for spending time with us today and sharing in this update.